Welcome back to Volume 3 of Taking a Trip North on the Chile Line on my HON3 Chile Line. This area represents, we left off, I should say, at Otowi. This area represents the Black Mesa. And the church that stands today by the tracks. The train will approach Espanola, crossing the trestle, passes by the Conoco Jobber. The scene is mostly freelanced, as just one photo I've found shows a little bit of the Conoco dealer that was in Espanola. I have included the stockyards, the grain elevator, of which I know of only one photo, and the buildings that stood along the railroad tracks leading to the depot. Here we see the coal shed, the depot, the bond company building back behind the depot, and we make our way up Onate Street. Sharp eyes will notice this scene is actually reversed. The buildings you see on the screen now should really be where I'm standing in the aisle, but I felt it looked better to fill out the layout at this point. I have a condensed version of the Morrison Clark building, the Conoco gas station, Hunter's Ford, the post office, and a very condensed version of the Espanola Mercantile Company. Let's take an overall view of this aisle, which is Espanola, which will be coming up on your left. And we will follow the Embudo Canyon leading to Embudo. The layout itself is 20 by 30, built on top of a 3-stall garage. Again, the lower level is all FN3, upper level HON3. Backdrops were painted by myself, and the vast majority of the buildings were also done by myself. So this is the center aisle of 3 in the layout. Embudo leads to the grade up Barranca Hill. So let's take a closer look. As we leave Espanola, I have a condensed version here of the Chama River crossing. The bridge, well, there was a bridge here. The bridge I'm using here is not prototypical, but I decided to use it in this position anyway. So as we cross the Chama River, we head up the Embudo Canyon. Structures here were based on actual photographs. The old abandoned adobe. tracks will now lead us up to Embudo. All right, let's take a look at some of the structures in Embudo. This scene was completed a few years ago and contains just about all of the structures that stood there at one time, although probably not at all at the same time as I included them on the layout. But I do feel if there was something interesting along the Chile line that I should include it in this model, as I'd like to maintain as accurate as possible. So let's start here at the water gauging station. It still stands today, rock covered. The bridge across the Rio Grande. Then we come up to the DRGW property, old car body outbuilding, the bunkhouse, outhouse, the eating house. Here's a picture of the scene. Pump house. Outhouse. The old warehouse that shows with the picture of the, I believe it's the C-16 at Embudo. There's a model of the mill. Coaling dock. And we come to the station area. This was the kitchen. The cold storage area was under the mound of rock in the back with the telegraph pole on the top. Embudo Station. This was built by my friend Dave Jamriska. Sorry, Dave. It's been great to include it on the layout. The garage. Dave's version of the warehouse along the tracks. I built the sand house in the background, and Dave also built the water tank. I've included the turntable that was here at Embudo, fully functioning. Although I still have a little work to do, missing the ring rail. And we have the pump house. I'm very happy with how the Embudo scene finished up. It's not particularly deep. I think it's 18 inches deep. The backdrop mountains here are blue foam, some plaster, and they're only about an inch deep. The coaling dock was scratch built. And the Chile line will make its way from here as train 425 and 426 meet, and then 426 will make its way up Barranca Hill. We'll pick up our layout tour at that point in the next volume. Thanks, everybody.